And welcome everybody to week 8, where we start off with the Shore Shots against the Fighting Penguins. Shore Shots dropping a real sure shot against the Penguins here, 28-13. Gonna have to do a nice little deep dive in on that. Jackson driving it home against the Titans to say we did not lose for a reason, handling the Tennessee Titans, bringing them down a notch, 42-26. Texans versus the Houston Raiders, not much going on there. The Danger Chickens just being absolutely dangerous, 41-7 out there, bringing the Cleveland Steamers down a peg or two. The Eagles and the Lions, another pretty handy victory. Would you look at that? The Spud NATO doing what the real Bears oh my God, can't talk. Yeah, again, I am recording this week 1 of the NFL as we go into week 2. The Bears actually beat the 49ers in week 1 of the NFL season. So the Spud NATOs, my girlfriend's team, dropping a nice little field goal there at the end for a victory. Not Carolina losing to my Falcons, which is pretty dope. Look at that. Sons of Saban 40-21 against Brady, Gaga, letting them know who's what and what's for. The Patriots and the Chargers not doing much going on there. Jacksonville versus Seahawks, pretty low scoring game. Oh my God, are we up to 3 separate games here going forward, folks? The 10 Wolverines telling Doesn't Swarm to back the off with a nice little field goal there at the end, saying who's what's and what's for. The Dallas Cowboys handing a victory over to the Minnesota Vikings, and then we have the Giants at the Chiefs, where the Giants decided to play a little bit of games here. So let's go ahead and start off with the first matchup here, the Shore Shots against your Fighting Penguins. Pretty even matchup here. The Shore Shots dropping a touchdown in their opener, it looks like, out there, and then just kind of steadily scoring some points, where the Fighting Penguins not putting up too much of a fight. Offensive yard gained. Looks like the Shore Shots have that, as well as the rushing yards. Not much of a passing game. Not much of a passing game at all. 20-15 first downs. Don't really care about those as much. Those are kind of meaningless. Pretty standard there, where you see a team outperform. Very low turnover game, which is great. Lot of first down conversions for the Shore Shots against the Fighting Penguins. One looks like they decided to go for it twice and had 2 conversions on 4th down, which I know can sometimes be the difference. The red zone percentages, that is very, very telling. Looks like the Fighting Penguins were just fighting to stay afloat out there, where the Shore Shots were at 80% with 4 touchdowns to the Penguins as 1. Got 28 penalty yards against 77, 33 minutes to the 27 minutes out there. Let's head on over to our stats. Let's go ahead and take a quick gander at the Fighting Penguins. Kyler Murray, 81.5. Passer rating, 194 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, 29 long. Didn't get sacked that time. Had 17 for 28 with a 60% completion and a 6.9 yards per attempt. Looking at the rushing, James Conner, 13 for 36 at 2.8 with a touchdown, a fumble, 5 broken tackles. Kyler Murray probably getting hurried there, 4 attempts for 24 yards with a 6 average. Alexander Mattson getting some action in there, as well as Michael Thomas. And then Bruce Miller, the fullback, probably one of those first downs that they got on a 4th down. Checking out the receiving core, DeAndre Hopkins, 7 for 90. Tyreek Hill, again, getting some big yards, most likely that speed that he's got, 3 for 47. George Kittle for 2 passes at 24. James Conner for 13-yarder. Chase Edmonds looking at 6 yards per catch. Michael Thomas, as well as Marquez Brown. Gesicki didn't look like he was in the game, but Kyler Murray spreading the absolute love out there for our Fighting Penguins. Heading on over to Joe Burrow with his Shore Shots of 108.8, 178 yards for 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and it took 3 sacks. Looks like no matter where Burrow goes, he just cannot get away from getting his ass handed to him because an O-line is breaking down, which is very weird for the Packers. 15 for 21 at 71% at 8.5 yards. Dalvin Cook, 17 for 13 at 6.6, with Ezekiel Elliott dropping a couple yards in there, not being as productive, just like he's doing right now in Dallas. Joe Burrow had 4 scrambles for 12 yards. A.J. Brown with looks like a handoff, as well as Melvin Gordon for a quick little, jet sweep, if you will. Thielen pulling in some big numbers, 4 for 81, as well as A.J. Brown putting in some big numbers for only 5 catches. Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson doing a lot of good work like he did against the Packers. 3 for 17 at 5.7. That's pretty awesome sauce. Zach Ertz and Ezekiel Elliott for some passes out there. So the numbers game, not too big out there for these sure shots, as well as for the Fighting Penguins. Let's go ahead and dive back into the, oh no, that's where are we at here? Nope. Here we go. The Sons of Saban telling the Brady Gagas what for and who's what. Look at that. 7 in the first quarter, 17, 3, 13. I will say Brady Gaga had 7 for quarter 2, 3, and 4, which is pretty dope up there. Looking at the offensive yards gained, 388 to 298. Not too bad there. Pretty handy lead on the offensive rushing yards. Passing looks to be on par out there. First downs, doing pretty good. Almost a little bit heading in the wrong direction there. Brady Gaga. Punt yards, don't care about those. But the total offensive yard gain, 100 yards exactly. Brady Gaga handing over the ball 3 different times on turnovers. Wow. A lot of downs, going to 7 third down conversions, as well as 6 third down conversions. Nobody decided to go for it on Sons of Saban. Probably a smart idea, but Brady Gaga had one of them. No 2-point conversions. Brady Gaga, 100% in the red zone. Sons of Saban at 75, but it looks like it was 3 for 2, so every time that Brady Gaga was in the red zone, they had a score. Penalty yards, very, very low here. 37 minutes to 22 minutes. Not bad at all. So let's start off with Brady Gaga. Tom Brady, the GOAT himself. 51.4 passer rating, 215, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. That's impressive. That's impressive, Sons of Saban. That's impressive. 22 for the long, no sacks. 21 for 35 at 60% for 6.1. Switching on over here to Najee Harris, 16 carries for 56 yards at 3.5 with 2 touchdowns. Tom Brady going for a little bit of a scrambling out there, as well as David Montgomery putting some work in as the backup. Heading on over to the receptions, DJ Moore, 5 for 60. Mike Evans, his actual favorite target out there, 5 for 54. OBJ, 3 for 34. Darren Waller, 3 for 29. Russell Gage, 2 for 18. Montgomery, as well as Harris, getting some touches out there. Brady spreading the love. Brady is spreading the love. Let's go ahead and head on over to the Sons of Saban, where Dak Prescott, 132.7. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's almost actually actually almost a perfect rating. I think it's like 180 is a perfect rating. So 132.7 is actually pretty impressive for 207, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, pretty long passes, 1 sack, 20 for 27 at 74 with 7.7 yards out there. Nick Chubb doing quite a bit of work out there, 25 for 113 with 1 touchdown, as well as Austin Eckler, 10 for 47 at 1 touchdown. Prescott doing some scrambling at 4 for 21. Looking over here at CeeDee Lamb, 4 for 72 yards. David Njoku, 6 for only 43 yards. Jamar Chase, 3 for 32. Terry McLaurin, 3 for 24. Nick Chubb, 2 for 16. Eckler only caught a 14-yarder. And Adam Shaheen, 1 for 6. So all in all, not too bad, but spreading the love equally around to almost 10 people out there. So that's pretty impressive. And then we got our actual third game where we go head-to-head. The 10 Wolverines, I think this is their first time that they make it into a head-to-head against the Desert Swarm, where they win it out with a field goal that they had dropped in the third half by scoring 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Taking a look here, the Desert Swarm, though, we're swarming them on the offensive yards gained. Rushing yards pretty even in average, but the offensive passing yards, looks like the Swarm decided to step it up out there. 19 to 15, not too bad. Total yards gained, 501 to 453. So it's not Not too uneven, although 3 turnovers for the Swarm is what put them away most likely, as well as 8 third down conversions to the Swarm's 6. Your 10 Wolverines with a 4th down conversion, as well as the Desert Swarm. Swarm getting into the end zone each time they hit that red zone, as opposed to the 10 Buccaneers getting 60%. 2 red zone touchdowns to the Swarm's 3. They did have a red zone field goal, which is probably what saved them out there. And then the 25 penalty yards to the Swarms' 40. Very, very low penalty game there. Fairly even on the time of possession as well, too. So it looks like this one may have just come down to a bit of a schlobberknocker. Matthew Stafford, 73.4 rating, 254, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 30 long, 4 sacks. So Swarm was actually getting in there, kind of diving for some honey, or the intruder, if you will. 20 for 37 at 54% at 6.9. Raheem Morstead, 14 for 67 yards, getting out there with 2 touchdowns, 4 broken tackles. Matthew Stafford looks like he decided to go for scrambling. Cooper Kupp, 8 for 107. Would you look at that? Not only do they stay on the same exact team, but they connect like they typically always do. Kind of surprised that the Swarm didn't cover Kupp a little bit more, knowing he is going to be the number 1 target there. Looking here at Kyle Pitts, 4 for 46. Looks like they used some tight end screens to actually score a touchdown as well, too. Robert Woods, 3 for 34. Mosette getting a pass out there. Brandon Cooks, 2 for 26. McElroy, 2 for 15. And Zach Triner just took a 3-yard shot out there. Heading back on over to the Desert Swarm, where Gump here is getting Justin Herbert at 84 passer rating, 346 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 29-yard with 6 sacks. Good God, the 10 Wolverines coming at him like a pack of wild wolves, if you will. 29 for 44 at a 65 with 7.9-yard average. Christian McCaffrey not doing a whole lot of work there. 14 for 52 at 3.7. And then Justin Herbert going for a couple of scrambling yards out there. Amari Cooper, 8 for 100 yards even with a touchdown out there. Keenan Allen putting in some work, almost 13 yards an average on 6 receptions. Dalton Schultz, 6 for 60. Perfect 10. Tyler Lockett, 3 for 58. And Christian McCaffrey at 6 for 52 with 8.7. So it looks like they were utilizing the pass a little bit more, which actually makes a lot of sense. So pretty PvP heavy this week. I think it's pretty great. One of the longer episodes out here. Let's go ahead and jump on over to see where the league standings are and see if we continue forward with a lot of the aggressive play and with what I'm hoping is going to be a dogged Week 9 out there, folks. All right, welcome to the Week 8 standings out here. The Shore Shots are at 5-3. Your Suds and Saban are staying perfect at that 8-0. Your Brady Gaga fall to 3-4. The 10 Wolverines are just still at 5-3 with the Spud NATO keeping it at 5-2. The Danger Chickens are 7-0, still perfect, as well as the Sabans. Keep Kraft Mac and Cheats took a week off from recording everybody's stuff and cheating out there with some deflated balls. They stayed at 6-1. Your Jackson Drive are 5-3. The Desert Swarm are 4-3, and your Fighting Penguins fall to 6-2. Stay tuned for next week. We're going to be dropping Week 9 on you. I don't think we have nearly as many player versus player games, so it won't be as long of an episode, but I do appreciate you guys sticking around for what you do. I love your faces, and we'll see you next week in Week 9.